E3 here. This is part 7 of the journey, glioblastoma discovery to full healing and integration. I'm currently in the hospital. Just had head surgery around a week ago to cut out, see, that should be curved, but it's a part of skull that's cut out. Pretty intense, huh? And then there's abdominal tissue that's replacing the infected and dead skin that the doctor had to cut off. And I'm on antibiotics to fully clear the head infection so it doesn't come back. So this is an interesting video series because, in a sense, the integration and healing is already here. I am whole. I am complete. I'm happy just as I am. I'm embodied. I am empowered. I am ecstatic. I'm more myself now than I have ever been. Maybe except when I was a really, really young child, before all the trauma, the fear, the escape routine, the passive machine mind took over. Other than that, or besides that time, I feel healed. I feel like myself in a 3D human limited body and brain and world. But so this video series, it's about bringing together heaven and earth, you can say. I mean, even if there is, I go 50 or 100 or however long, how many years from now, I'm still going to leave this body at some point. There will still be pain. But this has been an amazing practice to minimize suffering, to minimize and integrate the passive machine mind, which is the automatic thoughts, images, sounds, feelings in the consciousness. They could come from inside, stored places inside, and they come to our consciousness without our voluntary consent, you could say, or the passive machine mind could come from the outside, such as when we, well, for me personally, I've had many addictions to YouTube videos, or an addiction to YouTube videos that did not directly have an impact on my unique vibration, my unique flow state, and my unique life purpose. So that's an example of the passive machine mind entering our consciousness from the outside. So those energies have been integrated. There's still a lot more room for growth, but what I'm dealing with now and what I'm sharing in this video series is the manifestation of past disconnection patterns, past fears, past erroneous beliefs, past eating patterns that were not in alignment with my highest alignment. I think that just was repetitive. And at the same time, I believe that this is all part of God's plan. It's part of my soul's highest purpose to have glioblastoma. So, in a sense, it's all perfect. It's all actually for the highest success on all levels. In a sense, I could not have the highest success on all levels without experiencing the glioblastoma. So it's a very interesting experience to have compassion for myself, compassion for who I used to be, compassion for the environment I used to be in and am currently in, and at the same time, and compassion for the 3D limitations. Like right now, I am hooked up to a antibiotic drip line into my arm. There's a PICC line, so a like constant intravenous thing going into my body. So it's a great practice in staying connected to my unique vibration, my unique flow state, and my unique life purpose. Those are the first 3 foundational principles, in the 11 foundational principles. Just letting my eyes and my brain relax a little bit. So yeah, I had an opportunity to live with my mom for the first, it was from October 2019 to April 2020. And in that time, I had the glioblastoma diagnosis, the brain surgery, around 8 weeks of radiation and chemo, low dose chemo, high dose radiation on the right side of my head, followed by, including extreme pain. I think there was a time where I didn't sleep for 2 weeks straight because of the pain. Going to the ER several times because of the pain. Grand mal seizures, which are extremely painful for me. I think some people have seizures where they just kind of like go limp. My seizures are the exact opposite. Extremely painful, extremely dangerous, extremely exhausting for the brain, the nerves, and the whole body. And then an infection formed in my head. I had a second head surgery in February 2020 to clean out the head infection. And then in April 2020, it just became way too much and very unhealthy and not in the highest alignment to live with my mother and stepfather for many different reasons. It's all perfect, but it wasn't in my highest good to stay. I thought it would be better living with my father in North Carolina. And in a sense, it was all part of God's perfect plan for my highest good and highest expression of the inner gifts. I hadn't talked to or seen my dad in a while in person. Over the phone, we had a pretty good relationship. But as soon as I got there in person, it just was not in the highest alignment for my highest healing. But he picked me up from New York, drove me to North Carolina, and and that's where the journey continued. It's amazing, it's beautiful, and anything I share, I'm trying to be as objective as possible. Yeah, I love both my parents, they're awesome. They've helped me, they gave me life, God gave me life, I came through them. And, but at a certain level, I am my own man. I do have my own path, and following that path with as much integrity and joy as possible. And there comes a point where it's important to view every single person in our lives as their own human being. And are we serving each other's unique vibration? Are we serving each other's unique flow state? Are we activating each other's unique life purpose and supporting each other's unique life purpose? Regardless if it's the president, your parent, or anyone, we have to be honest with ourselves about the answer to those questions. And loving and compassionate at the same time, and taking everything into account, but really being honest with ourselves, because we each have a unique vibration that won't lie to us and that we can't lie to. We each have a unique flow state that we can't lie to. We each have a unique life purpose, which is why we're here. So, living with my parents while having brain cancer and surgery and extreme pain, extreme challenges, lots of stress, was an amazing opportunity to trust myself fully, to trust my intuition, to develop greater compassion, greater love for myself and others, and to grow. So I'm going to rest here because I'm in pretty extreme pain, and talking, the vibrations in the skull hurt from talking too much. Thanks for joining me in this journey from glioblastoma discovery to full integration and healing. I look forward to sharing more. I think it's part 7. This is part 6. So, wishing you the best wherever you are, that you can transmute whatever energies you're experiencing into greater levels of connection with your unique vibration, your unique flow state, and your unique life purpose. E3 here, wishing you well.